What is going on, everybody? It's Alex. Come back at you with another video, and today we're doing round 3 of 4 of this mock draft. So if you guys are new, watch rounds 1 and 2 first, then come back. But of course, like, comment, subscribe if you guys are enjoying. Let's start off with the number 65 pick. We got the Lions on the board. Usually they're not here because I like to trade up for Carson Strong, but no longer the case. So when we're looking at this situation, I think we could look at a couple places. A second wide receiver. You can get a guy like Zay Flowers, but we've already gotten our speedster. We got Jameson Williams, if I'm not mistaken, in the first round, which we did. It's pretty damn good. Get Jalen Tolbert here, another guy who could be what you're kind of looking for when you brought Tyrell Williams on. I love his athleticism at his size. He's an absolute beast. You can get even Romeo Dubs here. So all these guys are in heavy contention right now. I think a guard could be on the table. If you get a guy like Thayer Munford here, wouldn't be a terrible idea. But I know you guys like to defend your corner core. It's the third round. You can definitely invest in your corner core. With that being said, I mean, honestly, I think the best value could be on the offensive line. You could get a quarterback here. You know, Bailey Zapp is going to get some hype. You know, it came from, I think, some weird Baptist college or something like that. And then he transferred over to Western Kentucky and has been doing very, very, very well. That being said, he has had some very, very poor years as well. So there's definitely some red flags when it comes to Bailey Zapp. Also, we could go with another defensive line pick. Don't think interior defensive line is the right move. He went 2 times last draft. Obviously, there are some really good talents here. Could also trade back. You got Zach Harrison on the board. There are teams that could definitely use it. One team being the Jets. Honestly, it wouldn't be a bad idea either because I'm not really in the mind space to take anybody right now. And I think the Jets could definitely want to move up for a defensive threat. So Jets are going to be moving up, starting off the third round with a little bit of a bang with a trade. And we're going to ask for a 6 in return. That is quite entertaining. That 3 spots doesn't automatically guarantee that, but we'll see. They accepted the offer. You know, you get to move up in the next round. You get another 5th, lose your 6th. And now you're sitting here. You got Cameron Thomas, which wouldn't be a terrible idea. I do like Cameron Thomas in the 3rd. Don't think he's that spectacular. Nothing like Todd McShay says, but he's shown some very big talent flashes, and this is exactly where you take guys like that. Zach Harrison's being extremely underrated right now. I don't get it. You know, this guy randomly was on TDN's board at the top. He hasn't taken much of a progression this year, but he looks athletic for his size. He looks like he got a little bit more in shape. And to me, that kind of screams that he should be taken. You know, tight end, running back, wide receiver, all valid options as well. And honestly, we could get a guy like Sam Williams with our next pick, which we actually don't have a next pick in this round, which kind of sucks. But honestly, I think it's a little bit more worth it than a RBBC back at this point. I'm going to be going Zach Harrison here out of Ohio State, a guy who's been criminally underrated now. You know, we used to take him up pretty high anyways. He's a big dude, would be working amazingly in this defense, and his size and athletic combo is going to be off the charts, and it's certainly going to be getting him drafted by by mid day 2. Jaguars, another team that could have used a guy like Zach Harrison. You guys definitely need to be focusing on tight end or edge. I know a lot of you guys are screaming for a wide receiver, but for one, I don't think it's that big of a need compared to what you guys think. I think that's a free agency issue. There's so many wide receivers in free agency that are better than some of these guys in here. And I don't think Jalen Tolbert and Zay Flowers, the only guys and Romeo Dubs, no disrespect to him, are the guys I think are draftable this round. But apart from that, you don't really have anybody, and not many of these guys are worth a round 2 pick, right? Jalen Tolbert isn't even worth a round 2 pick to me. So I'd be a little bit more concerned about that. So I think going edge is the right move. I think it is. You got guys like Logan Hall here who will be getting a little bit more hype. I don't think he's going to go as high as people think. I'm pretty sure he's worse than the Houston edge that came out last year. Cameron Thomas could be this pick, though. I know we could go for an outside linebacker like Nolan Smith, even go for somebody who's a hybrid like Boye Mafe. But I think going on the interior might be the right move. And Cameron Thomas has shown those flashes. You know, the defensive end position is a pretty criminally poor position for this team. I've looked at the roster, just not too bueno. A guy like Cameron Thomas would be great for that. Again, he shows those talent flashes. It's exactly where you want to be. For the Texans, yeah, you guys get your pick at running back, and I'm gonna go Kenneth Walker here. I think it's a great pick. You get a 3-down running back. You could go Zach Charbonnet, or Brees Hall, but I think Kenneth Walker is getting the most hype, and I think you guys like to have more of an RBBC in terms of you get a receiving back to take a little bit of the receiving load, with which Kenneth Walker is not the best receiver in the class. Zach is the best power RBBC, but Kenneth Walker will be taking the majority, the lion's share of the carries for this offense. Back with the Lions. See, I kind of do want to give this team another running back since obviously Jamal Williams is on a 2-year contract, but I'm not going to do that. We're going to be doing all these videos for these teams soon, but I think it wouldn't be a terrible idea to look in the safety room or into the corner room. I know you guys don't like it, but it is worth it. Nick Cross is hyper athletic. He's somebody who I'm not going to be taking him at this pick, but I got to give him a shout out. Really good player out of Maryland. He's probably going to be there in the 4th round, and I'm going to be doing a deep tape study dive. God, I deep dive on tape study for him. I never get that right. And I think that's going to be a good spot. But a second wide receiver is far from out of the question. And I think a guy like Jalen Tolbert, stealing him from my Steelers, because I love sending him to the Steelers, is going to be an excellent option on the outside. Jalen Tolbert locking it up with Jameson Williams. Yes. And Amon-Ra in the slot. You tell me. You tell me that you don't like that. For the Bears, another team that probably would have taken Jalen Tolbert here. It's not looking too hot. It's not looking too hot for the Bears at this point. Offensive line wise, you can get a guy like Jackson Kirkland and try him out at right tackle. Abraham Lucas as well. Abraham Lucas, he's getting overrated at the moment, but there's Max Mitchell here as well. Unfortunately, the Bears have shown that they're looking for bigger dudes. So Abraham Lucas makes a bit more sense. We already took Sean Ryan, who's going to be our left guard, and I think that was the right move. Again, Max Mitchell is the logical choice to put at right tackle. The Bears have just shown that they're not in the mood to draft thin linemen. Even James Daniels was a big-ass dude. Pretty sure he was a center out of Iowa as well. I'm a big fan of Max. Just not going to take him here. Abraham Lucas does fit the bill, though. 6'7", 324. Jackson Kirkland, he's a bit lighter, so would be a bit more concerned about that. You could look in the offensive line, the interior offensive line portion for Thayer Mumford. Jamari Sawyer's played right tackle as well. I don't think they do. We're going to go Abraham Lucas here. I think it's an overreach, but this is a team that is desperate for a day one impact. And for me, I had Abraham Lucas around my tackle 6 at the start of the year. And that's like, things like right tackle 3 or 4 right now. Anyways, he's going to be a big impact for the squad. He's probably not the highest end right tackle that you can have. And I know some Bears fans are saying that there is a guy stepping in at right tackle. I'm pretty sure I'm going to pull that trigger. We're pulling out for 1 second just to see if there's anybody else I'd want to take. Not a big fan. Tight end wise, you got some crazy dudes. Honestly, no one's going to take freaking Abraham Lucas in the short term. There's Isaiah Likely on the board and Jalen Watermeyer. I think that is where teams should be looking to target. And a team that could be is the Jaguars. I know I've done it from multiple times before, and I'm probably going to do it again because there are teams like Green Bay could definitely use another one, given the fact that I'm pretty sure they did not re-sign their tight end. So there is a chance that he goes in free agency. So we're going to trade up with the Bears. The Bears lack 7th round picks. How funny is that? From I think it was 68 up to 65. It was impossible to send a 3 and a 5 for a 3 and a 6, and all of a sudden 3 and a 7 works. Just the mathematical algorithm sometimes is a bit of an annoyance. So it is what it is. This is a team that's going to pick up Isaiah Likely. He's going to be a receiving threat. This guy's going to shoot up boards because he's going to run a very good 40. Yeah, I don't think he's going to be getting past the very nice 69. 70 for the Packers. Yeah, this was traded with the New York Giants, and I think this is a perfect place to look at an edge. And you could look, obviously, ZTS probably the right option. I think that's a beautiful choice for this team. He can play on the outside. He can play interior. I love him. I have him above Boye Mafe. Sam Williams, he's going to be a little bit more of a guy who I'd want to put inside or on a 4-3. Zion can work in both. I think he works very well. His upside's ridiculous. He should go back for another year, but I don't think he does. Just again, I don't know how much higher you can shoot than this given your injury history. And if he gets injured one more time, then he's kind of screwed. He's been pretty healthy, if I'm not mistaken, this year. So stick to it. Stick to your guns and go. The Seahawks. So I'm stuck right now between a guy like Logan Hall and then corners like Mikael Wright. I do like Mikael Wright. I don't know why people hate on Mikael Wright. Is at Oregon, which is pretty damn close to Seattle. So they've probably been watching him quite a bit. Edge-wise, though, you got some crazy talents on the board. It's going to be tough to pass on any of these guys for a corner, but you think about the value in round 4. I don't think all these guys are going, which I don't like Amari Barno. I don't like Isaiah Thomas at all. I'm not even that big of Foskey is a 4th rounder for me. So you got these 4, as well as Sam Williams and Boye Mafe as the guys who are pretty much left on the draftable board. Need to watch D'Angelo Malone a little bit more. Versus on the corner room, you got Nehemiah Pritchett, Mikael Wright, as well as Jermaine Waller, Kobe Bryant. You have a Caleb Evans too. Honestly, it's about equal, and I think edge is a little bit more of a prime position to go. And you can look at Logan Hall or Sam Williams. Both of them are amazing. I'm gonna go with Logan Hall here. He has, Houston edges just for some reason are getting picked a lot higher than they should, but also Logan Hall does have that talent. I like Sam Williams more, but again, we can't have Logan Hall be falling to ridiculous levels. For the Bears, we could also go wide receiver here with Zay Flowers. It wouldn't be a terrible option, but I don't think he adds much to the offense. Khalil Shakir could be fun as well, but yeah, I think that the right move is to go right tackle here. And again, these two are above Abraham Lucas to me at right tackle, but Abraham Lucas fits the build at the right size, and that's going to be the right move. Again, I know that we have some dudes stepping in doing an okay job. An okay job is just not good enough, to be frank. I think Abraham Lucas would be a great addition to the team, regardless of where he plays. And if he even plays, a 3rd-round pick, if he sits on the bench and then moves into for when people get hurt, which happens to the Bears all the damn time, we know because Tevin Jenkins hasn't even played damn snaps for us yet. Abraham Lucas would be a perfect fit. And again, he is that plug-and-play player. He's played very well over his entire career. He has the veteran snaps. I think he's great. For the Eagles, we unfortunately have not addressed that offensive line spot, but we very well could. Jamari Sawyer is a fun guy. He can play all positions, but I think Thayer Mumford can play that left guard spot if we move Landon Dickerson in to center. I think that would be an excellent move for this team. Thayer Mumford has all the veteran presence that you could want. He also can play left tackle. And if I'm not mistaken, he might have played some snaps at right tackle in his past. That might be wrong. I think he might have done that a little bit in high school, but Thayer Mumford offers that ability to sub in as an effective left tackle. And it's a perfect spot for him too. I think he's a really good player. And at this spot, it's kind of worth it. So Thayer Mumford to the Eagles, also kind of stealing him from the Cowboys where I would consider him, but pretty sure the Cowboys want Zion Johnson. Vikings. Yes, we had the pause right there for the ad. The Vikings, I think corner is a desperate need for this team. Interior defensive line, we still got Perrion Winfrey here, which would be a pretty fun option. Another good pass rushing threat. But I think going after a guy like Mikael Wright, who is a ball hawk, would be great. I really do think that he's being criminally underrated. I don't know why teams are underrating him like that. Another guy you could look at is Kobe Bryant here, but I think Mikael Wright is just going to be even better than a guy like Kobe Bryant. Again, no disrespect to him because he's going to be going with this pick. He's earned it. Kobe Bryant, Cincinnati. People say he outplayed Sauce Gardner. He outplayed him playing significantly worse receivers. So just got to keep that in mind as well. Raiders, another team that could have taken a guy like Abraham Lucas to be a true right tackle. This team desperately needs a deep threat. Romeo Doubs is on the board. Zay Flowers is too. But I think Romeo Doubs being right near Las Vegas in Nevada, I might even be in Las Vegas. He's going to be the guy. He's going to be the guy to replace Henry Ruggs here. And I think that's honestly a dream fit. So we'll see if that comes into the fray. 77, this is Perrion Winfrey all the way, or we could go with Breece Hall. Ooh, did we get Wan'Dale Robinson for this team? We did. That's fun. You could even get Zach Charbonnet for this team at this point. But I'm actually going to go Breece Hall here. I think that's the right move. He's my number 1 running back in the class overall. I think Breece can just take over a game, and he's being criminally underrated now. So lock him in and be able to enjoy him. 78 with the Giants. Weidermeyer still on the board. I know that tight end is a big issue for this team. And so I'm going to be heavily focusing on Weidermeyer for this pick. However, I do want to analyze running back with a guy like Zach Charbonnet, Isaiah Spiller. I don't know. I sound like an old person saying Spillers. That wouldn't be a bad option. It's just I don't see a good receiving back for this team. So I think addressing a more important position like tight end with Weidermeyer, which is excellent value, is the right move. For the Steelers, this is going to be Max Mitchell all the way. I'm not even thinking about it. Jackson Kirkland's more athletic, but Max Mitchell is a beast. He's a true right tackle. Jackson Kirkland's a true left. I just think he can play right tackle since he's played right guard. Get Max Mitchell, lock him in. I don't even care who else was on the board. You need to invest in that offensive line. We've been able to do it. Good job to the Steelers. Who we get in the last round? We got Kyler Gordon, and I assume we also got Sam Howell in the first. Yeah, it's starting to become a pretty solid class for the Steelers, if I say so myself. For the Browns, there's Darian Beavers left on the board. I'm assuming Henry To'oTo'o returns just because, again, really good player, but should probably get one more year of development. Ooh, because we could definitely get Perrion Winfrey here. I think that might be the fun move, but we're going to go with something even more entertaining. Travis Jones out of UConn, 328 at 13% body fat. Ridiculous athlete, and I think he's going to get a lot of hype for his testing. So we're going to be locking him in right there. For the Broncos, I don't even think I need to worry about this pick either. I could look at a guy like Marcus Jones or Tyke Smith for a slot, or you can even look at Darian Beavers for linebacker. But offensive line, they're the last legitimately draftable tackle here. Jackson Kirkland, also stealing him from the Bengals. So the Bengals are sitting here. Yeah, I was thinking about honestly moving up with the Bengals to this spot because then I was like, oh shit, we're probably going to draft tackle here. But we all know the Browns are smiling because they just got kind of screwed out of their pick. So we've gone tight end, we've gone corner, we've not gone offensive line. So I think that we got a guy like Jamari Sawyer who can play all positions. He's played left tackle, left guard, and right tackle. And I think that honestly, he could fit very well. You could test Jackson Carman at right tackle, and it wouldn't be a sin to say it. I think that this could be the right move. Again, I like the versatility of a player like that. If injuries happen, he's able to sub in. You could look at somebody like Sam Williams to add extra oomph to your team. You could also look at Tyler Smith here. I really like Tyler Smith. I have him as an early third. He's only on the left, though. So I think a guy like Jamari Sawyer fits what you're looking for more. But for a team that's looking for a left tackle, left guard hybrid, I'm looking at the Colts. This is the right move. So we're going to go Jamari Sawyer here. You got to help on the offensive line somewhat. And again, that experience is going to be a big plus for this team. Washington. This is going to be a slot corner. I don't think that there's really much of an argument for it. Marcus Jones has been doing a very good job in Houston. Houston knows how to produce solid corners, especially for the third round. Excellent value here, and he's going to slot in very well. Also, not the injury issues of Tyke Smith. 84 for the 49ers. Boundary corner is a desperate need. And we got guys like Jermaine Waller who fit perfectly what we're looking for. I think he is exactly the right type of guy for this team. And so we lock him in. We could have also went Tyke Smith there because slot corner is a definite need. But for the time being, we're going with that. Darian Beaver's still on the board, so teams that need linebackers should definitely be considering him. But Zach Charbonnet is going to the Bills. No need to move up for him. You guys do not have a true power back in your RBBC, and he just fell right into your lap. So at 86 for the Colts, there's just not a wide receiver I think that'd be worth it at this point, unfortunately. And given the nature, I don't think edge is going to be much of an issue for you guys either. Left tackle is just barren, except for one guy who I really believe in, Tyler Smith out of Tulsa. I love this guy. I watched him. I'm like, holy shit, what's wrong with him? Especially if he plays a guard role. I think he could play true left tackle. Even if he plays a role at guard, he's going to be top notch. He's kind of like my Deontay Smith of this draft, even though Deontay Smith I had much less faith in than Tyler Smith. Tyler Smith's a beast. I don't know why he's being criminally underrated, but watch this guy. He is fun. He is really, really fun. 87 with the Chargers. Yeah, we're gonna be going a linebacker here. We're gonna go either Nolan Smith or Boye Mafe. We're gonna go Nolan Smith here. Reason he's falling, he's 230 pounds, but he's a guy who can definitely bring pressure off that edge, and he dropped in coverage. We all know these Georgia guys have a hell of a lot of talent. I was gonna pretend like he was gonna return, but honestly, at this point, I don't think so. So we'll see what happens. We'll see. At 88, with the Vikings back on the board, this is another team that could use a linebacker. Darian Beavers is on the board. He is the last guy who is worth the pick. Yeah, he's a beast. I love him. And I'm just checking to see if we got Chad Mama already in. Yeah, we did. So Darian Beavers, Cincinnati, he's going to be able to come and make a day one impact. Very good linebacker. And he's one of the big reasons why this defense is as locked down as it is. 89, this is Perrion Winfrey all the way. I know offensive line could definitely be a place you want to target here, but when Perrion Winfrey's on the board, you take him. The really good pass rushing threat, helps out in the interior. Zachary Carter deserves a little bit of a shout out as well, but yeah, it's a no-brainer to me. For the Cowboys, this could be another corner pick as well. But I mean, I could see a linebacker move right here if you guys were thinking about moving what's his name? Oh my God, Micah Parsons down to edge full time. That could definitely be a move. We have a lot of linebackers on the roster though, so no real need to do that. Zachary Carter could be a fun guy for you to play on the interior. Wouldn't be a bad option at all. Wide receiver wise, because I know we're going to be losing Michael Gallup. Khalil Shakir could be a really fun guy. Excellent after the catch. Excellent after the catch. I love how he's able to just make dudes he's just an absolute beast at the wide receiver position. Don't usually take him around this time, but he could be really fun. Honestly, Zay Flowers can act as a true deep threat. He has solid route running. As long as he gets better hands, I think he'll be perfectly fine. We're going to have a little bit of fun here for the Cowboys, getting Zay Flowers out of Boston College. Just enjoy it a little bit. For the Kansas City Chiefs, I think this is a good spot to go after a receiving back, and that's going to be James Cook. Yeah, you need to, well, to be fair, yeah, I think that's the right move. The running back game with Clyde Edwards-Helaire, I started falling on him a little bit once he started getting that high-end hype. He was a really good contact balance back, but there's not much more to it. I think James Cook has so much potential, and he's probably the best receiving back in this entire class. And I don't think there's much to argue about that. I know Kyren Williams is now getting rehyped, which is stupid. You don't rehype a player after just saying he is not even close to good, but we're in this era. James Cook absolutely is an amazing talent. He's the best receiving back, and I think this is a team that could desperately use it. I really do. I like the fit. And 92 for the Cards. We got Drake London. I'm pretty sure we got Nick Benito as well. We could definitely get somebody in the interior, though. It's not terrible to go interior edge here, because I know that you guys like to get some interior presence as well. Sam Williams is an absolute beast, and he could definitely sit on the inside for you. Corner, also, you could go after that. I'm just not sure how much Nehemiah Pritchett or Noah Daniels is going to offer this team. Noah's a great talent, but he's had injury history, and I don't think that he's going to be of the athletic build that this team would be looking for. So this is the only corner I'd be looking at. Running back wise, I don't like it. I really don't. You can go Jerome Ford here or Anais Smith. Anais Smith would be a fun wide receiver running back hybrid. This would be the team to be able to use him, but you kind of already got that last draft with Rondale Moore, a much better version of Anais Smith and Rondale Moore. Tight end wise, yeah, Greg Dulcich isn't worth this pick at this point when you got talents like Sam Williams on the board. So I'm going to be going with Sam. Let me know what you guys think about that. I'm going to have him go on the inside next to JJ Watt to continue developing. I think that he'd work really well in the interior. You got your outside linebacker with Nick Benito. Now you got your interior pass rusher with Sam Williams. 93 with the Titans on the board. This is a team that could use a tackle. It's a team that could use a tackle hybrid. So unfortunately, if Tyler Smith were here, another team I could see him going to. I think you could go an edge here. Don't think it's that big of a issue at the moment compared to the value. Linebacker, I know you guys have a couple dudes starting to fill in for the role. Honestly, Nakobe Dean in the first round isn't a terrible option either. This could be a team that tests out a quarterback as well. I don't think is that bad of an option. You could go tight end too. I think Josh Wiley, I'm going to pretend like Josh Wiley and Billingsley are not on the board. Given the desperation for an actual tight end, I think Greg Dulcich is worth this. But for a team like the Cards, where you have a guy like Sam Williams who fits exactly what you're looking for as well, you don't need it nearly as much as a team like the Titans, where you're just trying to get everything that you can at this point to be able to help that offense improve. 94 for the Buccaneers. This is a team that might want to go with like best player available or most potential available. You could look for a guy like Ed Ingram or Alec Lindstrom, Lacisha Smith to play very well in the interior. And I wouldn't blame you. Dylan Parham is terrible, by the way. Tyrese Robinson, he's like a late fifth for me. Just right tackle. It's just not very great. He's not good. Running back, definitely another position I would look at. And honestly, with guys like Jerome Ford and Kyron Williams on the board, I'm going to go Kyron. Jerome Ford should deserve some extra credit here, as well as Eric Gray. I really like Eric Gray. He should return, honestly, with how deep this class is. I think going back for one more year might be able to get him up into that 4th round, but we'll see about that. 95 with the Patriots. Oof. With this team, I think getting a linebacker wouldn't be a terrible idea. And there are guys like Jack Campbell that I think would be an excellent choice for this team. I like his drive. I like his abilities overall. He's a very well-rounded linebacker, good tackler as well. So we're going to get Jack Campbell for this team out of Iowa, 6'5", 243. Of course, that's unofficial. We got to see what the actual weight is at the combine, but I'm just saying that'd be a really good fit for the Patriots. Dante Hightower doesn't have an heir apparent yet, so getting a guy like that wouldn't be too shabby. For the Packers, back on the board. Yeah, this is a team that could definitely use a right tackle. Unfortunately, there just is nobody who I think would be worth it. Rasheed Walker might be the guy who I think you could train up, but not too happy about that one. Again, tight end, another position we could look at with Cade Otton here. Not a terrible choice. I don't know why quarterback's on the list. That's really weird. Obviously, I'm not going to be going for that. A depth at corner wouldn't be terrible either with a guy like Nehemiah Pritchett, Alontae Taylor, we're going to see him at the Senior Bowl, so that's going to be fun. But honestly, it's another position I kind of want to move back. I'm not really in the mood to pick a guy right here. And yeah, we've already taken ZTF. We've already gotten that edge fix. So I think with teams wanting to get boundary corners like Nehemiah Pritchett, guys like Isaiah Spiller, Zachary Carter as an edge. Well, honestly, Zachary Carter could be fun for this team. Using him on the interior, he's actually a really good pass rusher. We're going to pull the trigger on that, actually. He's going to be more of a defensive end rather than somebody on the inside, like as a nose tackle. But I don't think we need to worry about that with Kenny Clark there. Zachary Carter at 285. He is nasty athletic for his size. At 285, this guy moves like he's like about 270, which doesn't sound like much. But when you see it, it's like, wow, this guy has some legit juice to him. So I love it. At 97, this is going to be Bailey Zapp. Yeah, I mean, his deep accuracy is ridiculous, and you just got some deep threats for this team. I think Bailey Zapp is perfect to take. It's a 3rd round pick. It's a mid-3rd. It's not even the top of the 3rd. This guy, I do have probably around a 3rd round grade on him. You watch how he plays, and he has requisite arm talent. It's okay. It meets the mark. You look at his ball placement. It's pretty damn consistent, except for in short range, which is weird. Not really too happy with how he throws in short. But I feel like he forces a lot of balls, very structured as a quarterback. But when let's see how he throws the deep ball, it is right on the money. He does a very, very good job throwing it deep. And given the lack of quarterback talent in this class, especially past his pick, I wouldn't blame teams like that for taking him in the late 2nd. I really wouldn't. So he's definitely worth this pick. 98 for the Saints. This could be another edge pick. And I think that you want to go after somebody who has some ridiculous level of talent. You get Boye Mafe here out of Minnesota. The guy is just, I think if he goes in the 2nd, I wouldn't blink an eye. I really wouldn't. We got back-to-back picks here as well. This guy's just so damn good. And 99, I think this one could be a boundary corner pick. We could trade back as well. But you got Alontae Taylor here and Nehemiah Pritchett. I like Nehemiah Pritchett just because Auburn knows how to train their corners extremely well. He's been trained by Roger McCreary for a while now. So I think he's a very solid base to get somebody at least for depth. And in the third round, getting a guy who is starter potential with depth, I think it's worth it. 100 for the Dolphins. This honestly could be Foskey. I don't think that would be a bad idea to put Foskey in here. It's probably going to be Isaiah Spiller, but I think Foskey, if he plays off the edge and goes into coverage as well, kind of like that outside linebacker role, this would be where this would be the earliest I'd take him. Just right here. It would kind of be badass because, I'm thinking about it. I don't really see much more edge talent, and a team like the Ravens could use Isaiah Foskey to a very high level. He gets kind of like blind. He kind of gets absorbed into blocks and stuff, but I think the potential's there. So getting him as an outside linebacker rusher would be ridiculously good. I love it. 101. It's also a different pick for the Dolphins that I usually do. So it's kind of fun. 101 for the Rams. I think that going after probably a tackle is the right move. Whitworth, just again, I don't know how much longer this guy's going to last, but Kellen Dyche is going to be the right move here. Just a guy who we've been doing it for a little while. He's a plug and play player. Rasheed Walker deserves a little bit of hype here, but he honestly, I swear to God, I pray to God he returns. But Kellen Dyche definitely is going to be coming out, and he's certainly going to be worth the pick here, and he's going to be an excellent impact. Even if he sits for a year, it's going to be great because he can get trained up by Whitworth, but it's a spot for him. So unfortunately, it breaks my heart to say that the Baltimore Ravens can't get Foskey because that's starting to become a big like fanboy move for me right now. Offensive line, you still could go after one. It wouldn't be a bad idea. Go a guy like Alec Lindstrom here, who's excellent in the run blocking game. I think there's a lot of upside for him. I honestly don't think that's a bad idea. I think that's where we're going to go. Alec Lindstrom out of Boston College. I have him as a late third with potential. And this is exactly where he goes. So that's the end of the third. It went by fast. So check back. I believe I'm going to be dropping the fourth round on Monday because tomorrow is going to be team mock day. So let me know what you guys think. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you on the far side. Peace.